Hey everyone, so here's a tutorial on that eye look I recently uploaded to IG, the smoky browns, oranges and neon, so hope you guys like it. The first product we're going to use is the Mineralise eye base in the shade 3, and the brush I'm using is from Radiance. It's the F10 brush. It's a really good one for blending the base because it has more of a kabuki feel, so it makes it look soft. The size is good, so you're not spending forever trying to pat in your eye base, and also the angled part fits the curve of the eye really well. For today's look, we're going to be using my Clientele palette, which is my collab with BPerfect Cosmetics. I wish I had a new one to show you, but this is my well-used, loved one, and it has 30 shades in it as well. The first shade we're going to be using for this look is YAYYYY, which is that color there, and that color was named after me, and also my namesake, whose name is Ja. The brush we're going to be using for this color is from Radiance. It's the E15. It's a really good medium-sized blending brush, and I do recommend using a brush like this first, or even smaller if you prefer. The reason why is because this color is fairly more on the darker side, and you want to avoid applying it too high or going too big too quickly. So this brush is soft on the top, but it has the flat side, so it keeps the color nice and controlled and precise. So I apply that through the crease, and we also winged it out towards the end. I'm really been digging that winged out eyeshadow look. And the next shade we're going to be using is Peach Out, and we're going to mix that in with Sandy, which is a light warm brown. And we're going to use that transition color to blend out the edges of YAYYYY. We're going to be using the same blending brush, but obviously a clean one. And we're going to use more circular sweeping motions. Now, because of the transition shade, the YAYYYY would have faded a bit, so we're going to re-intensify it by using more circular blending motions, making sure you keep to your shape as well. And the next shade we're going to be using is Boy, which is a deep, dark, rich, kind of reddish brown. It's one of my favorites. I'm going to be using the R1 brush, also from Radiance. It's a smaller blending brush. And we're going to pop this in through the socket, right tight in that socket where the eye dips, and also to the outer V. You want to make sure you keep that color within YAYYYY. You don't want to bring it out too far where it overlaps YAYYYY and takes over. And that's the reason why using a smaller blending brush is better, because you have more precise control. And once again, make sure you keep your shape. Now we're going to go in with Mineralise eye base, same color, number 3, and we're going to pop that on all over the eyelid. And the reason why I'm doing that is because we're going to be putting a dark color all over the eyelid, and it's going to make it stick better, make it look more dramatic and more opaque. So I applied Boy, same color in the socket, and I also mixed a little bit in with Too Much, which is the darkest brown in the palette, and I used a flat shaded brush and just patted that on all over the eyelid, pretty much where we applied that base. Now sometimes you don't want to pat too much, because if the more patting, like over patting you do, it actually starts to patch up the product, so you kind of want to just get it on and smooth it out, and just don't fuss around with it too much. And also take your time, because you are working with a darker color, and we all know a dark color can screw up our eye look in like 0 seconds, pretty much, and it's real quick. Now we're going to be going in with the Huda Beauty Neon palette. This is the orange one, and we're going to be using that middle shade there, and we're going to mix it in with a little bit of the yellow, and we're going to apply that to the inner corner of the eyes using a smaller fluffy brush and buff it out. Then we're going to be using the Mineralise eye base in the shade 0, which is a white. We're going to dot that onto the inner corner of the eyes and slightly blend it out. And then we'll be applying that same middle color again, but by itself over top. Make sure you use a small bullet brush for this as well. Then you want to go in with more of the base, and we're going to dot it again to the inner corner, but this time we're not going to blend it out far, as you can see. And then back in with the same color, we're going to pat that over top as well, so you can see the difference it has made. Now we're going to go in with the eye primer, but you want it to be translucent, or you can use a glitter glue primer. We're going to dot that onto the inner corner, The reason why we're using this now is because we're going to be using that shimmer color. And anytime I apply shimmer, I always like a glue underneath because it makes it pop more. There we go, and that's pretty much how I create the inner corner pop. So for eyeliner, I'm using this L'Oreal liner. It's a liquid matte. Well, it's liquid and with a matte finish, sorry. And it's actually not black, it's a dark brown, which I've really been liking at the minute. Gonna wing it out. For lashes, I'm going to be using the Sassy Lash in the style Blondie. This lash is amazing, really full, fluffy, and gappy. But first we're going to mascara, and then we're going to go in with our face primer. Well, actually no, first I'm measuring it to see if it fits, and then we're going to cut it, and then we're going to face prime. I'm using the MAC Radiance primer, the yellow one. There's also a pink one. I don't really notice the difference anyways, but whatevs. So I'm just doing this while the glue on my lash is getting tacky, just in case you're like, oh, what's happening? Yeah. So now we can apply the eyelash, because the glue should be tacky by now, and we're just going to pinch it with our own natural lash. Then we're going to go in with Makeup Atelier. I love this product. It's a liquid illuminator. And we're going to apply it with a Joy Fiber brush from Ronya. Now, I'm not sure what the number of that brush is called, but I'll list it down below. I'm going to buff that in. As you can see, it's giving the skin a really nice glow, and it has no glitter in it, which I also love. It's more of a very glowy sheen. Yeah, that's the other side. Yep, bam. Love it. Okay, for foundation, we're using EX1. And my Ronya F9 brush. It's a kind of kabuki angled brush, and we're just going to pat that on all over the face. This is one of my favorite foundations at the moment, for more of a natural to medium coverage foundation. It makes the skin look really nice. It doesn't cling to dry patches. It's just a really good foundation. For concealer, we're using Tarte Shape Tape in the color light medium. I'm going to do a few swatches underneath the eyes. And then down the T-zone, so that's the nose and the forehead, around the nostrils if you get dark around there, and then a little bit on the chin. We're using my Cynthia Ann sponge. It's very pouncy and bouncy. We're going to use that sponge to blend in my concealer. It's a really good size. It's not too big, but it's also not too small. And if you have acrylic nails and using a small sponge, you know, like how annoying that is, because like your nails like create holes in your sponges. But yeah, anyways, we're going to pat that in until it's all smoothed out. Blend, 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 blend. Yep, still blending, getting there. Yep, still going. Oh, here we go. Yeah. So we're using the Tarte concealer again in the color Deep. I use this to kind of sculpt the face. This is more like a bronzer. Like, I really love that warm sculpted color, you know. I'm going to pat that in. We're using the same foundation brush. It has a little bit of foundation left in it, so I like it because it kind of dilutes the color, makes it blend in easier. And yeah, bunches out the cheekbones, the jawline, and forehead. Can't forget that forehead. We want to turn that 5 head to at least a 3 head, okay? I'm okay with 3. 3 is my lucky number too, so it's a good number. And you want to use a smaller brush around the hairline just so you can get close enough and you're not sticking heaps of foundation in your hair. So it's hard to clean out. And when you have black hair, it really stands out. Okay, still blending. Oh, and a little bit down the nose. Cannot forget the nose. I don't hard out contour my nose, but I do shade it a bit just so I don't have a blank center. And it blends in with the rest of the contour. It kind of balances. Now I'm going to go in with Luscious by Lynn powder. This is the, I think this is just the normal natural translucent. No, it's called Neutral. That's it. It's a neutral color. And this has been my favorite at the moment for my own face. I do love it. I think it sits really well on me. So we're going to pop that under the eyes, and you can see I dragged it out. Bam. It's going to lift that eye right back. And then want to set the rest of the face with my Benefit Hello Happy powder. First time I actually used it in this video, and it's quite nice. It's more natural, I would say, which is good if you don't want powder that makes your skin look powdery. It's probably a good one for you. And you want a big fluffy brush as well. This one is from Fenty. Then we're going to use Sunpower from MAC. It's their Mineralise Skin Finish powders. And we're going to use that to sculpt the face pretty much everywhere we applied the cream sculpting product, the Tarte concealer, the darker one. So we're going to do that, and also down the jawline, the forehead. Then we're going to go in with blush. This is Milani Luminoso, you know, the famous blush. I really love it. It's baked, so it looks more natural, and it has a glow to it, which is really pretty for the face and the cheeks especially. So plonk that on. Yep. We love a sheer blush. And for highlight, I'm using this one from Wet n Wild. I bought it while I was in the UK, and so good the first time I used it. I'm a big sucker for drugstore makeup, that's for sure. So I'm going to put that on the high points of my cheeks. I don't like to apply it too far out or too big, only because it emphasizes the texture that I have on my skin. Like, I have like little bumps, and of course I have pores. So you don't want to go too ham with the highlighter, you know, keep it low key. Now I kind of jumped the gun. I actually applied a peach liner in my waterline and just blended out the lower lash line with peach out, which was the transition color. And the reason being is because I can't actually show you yet what the product is in my waterline, but soon you will find out what it is. For now, we're just going to apply mascara to our lower lash line. I'm using the MAC Gigiblack Lash, and we're going to do our lips. For lip liner, I'm using, what am I using? Oh, I'm using MAC lip liner, that's right. This one is called Cork, one of my faves. It's just a really nice brown. And we're going to outline my lips using that. I love pencil lip liners. I think you just have better control with them. And it just looks more like defined as well. Now we're going to apply my Gemma Isabella Cosmetics liquid lipstick in the center of the lips, and we're going to spread it out in a patty motion using my finger. This color is called 1993, and I assume because it's the year she was born. So yeah, we're just going to pat. It's a really nice super nude with a peach undertone. I love this color. But it's very, very nude. You have to wear a darker lip liner with it. So this is the completed look. I hope you guys like it. I hope you're digging this look. And if you do, please like, share, subscribe if you haven't, and leave all your love down in the comments. I really appreciate you guys for sticking around. And you know, I haven't been on YouTube for a while, but you've kind of stuck around on Instagram and all my other platforms, so thank you guys a lot. And I'm happy to be back on YouTube. So this isn't going to be the last of the tutorials, so make sure you put your notifications on and stay tuned till the next one. Thanks guys, bye.